Bobby Bear's journey through the country music scene is one that resonates deeply with anyone who has ever had to face personal loss and struggle to achieve success. Once a household name who climbed the charts with his powerful voice, Bobby paid a steep price for fame. His early life in Ohio during the Great Depression was marked by hunger, hardship, and an early encounter with loss. As a child, he was forced to grow up quickly, witnessing the devastating impact of poverty and the untimely death of his mother. This early trauma became the foundation of Bobby's music, shaping his ability to convey raw, heartfelt emotions. Yet even as he climbed the ladder of success, those same losses haunted him, and the toll they took on him, both personally and professionally, left him a forgotten figure in the later years of his career. The birth of a storyteller. Born into poverty in Ironton, Ohio, in 1935, Bobby's early memories were filled with harsh realities. The Great Depression ravaged the lives of families, and for Bobby, daily survival was a battle. His mother, whose life was defined by sacrifice, passed away when Bobby was just 5 years old. This loss shattered Bobby's world, leaving him with no memory of her face, but a lasting emptiness that defined his life. His father, unable to raise his children on his own, had no choice but to send Bobby and his siblings to separate homes. By the time he was a teenager, Bobby had already experienced more heartache and loneliness than most ever would. But amid the darkness, Bobby discovered his refuge in music, a lifeline that would carry him through the many hardships to come. Finding solace in music, amid the wreckage of his childhood, music became Bobby's salvation. It was through an old radio that Bobby first encountered the storytelling power of country music. Songs by Hank Williams and Red Foley filled his ears, offering both solace and inspiration. He began teaching himself to play the guitar, using his calloused fingers to craft melodies that spoke to his soul. Music became his refuge, a place where he could process his pain and channel it into something that transcended the hardships of his life. It was during this time that Bobby met Linda, a girl who offered him a glimpse of happiness. For the first time, he dared to dream of a future beyond the poverty-stricken town he had grown up in. But tragedy struck again, as Linda's life was tragically cut short in a car accident. This loss sent Bobby into a deep depression, but it also marked the moment when he started writing songs that would become a powerful outlet for his grief. The first song, A Lifeline. Amid tragedy, after Linda's death, Bobby's world fell into an even deeper abyss. He no longer found comfort in the world around him. Music was his only escape, and it was through his songwriting that he began to process the loss. The first song he wrote was not intended for commercial release. It was a personal catharsis, a way for him to survive emotionally. The lyrics spoke of the cruelty of fate, of how life continuously took from him without ever offering anything in return. This mournful style became Bobby's trademark, and it was from this place of profound sorrow that his voice, calm and restrained, began to emerge. It was in the quiet moments of writing and playing that Bobby found the strength to continue, even when the world around him seemed to have nothing but heartbreak to offer. Struggling in Nashville. A dream deferred. As Bobby continued to pursue his musical dreams, he faced constant rejection from Nashville. The industry that had once seemed like the answer to his dreams proved to be just another obstacle. Music City, in the 1950s, was not a place where raw, honest talent was welcomed. Bobby, with his honest and unpolished voice, was not the type of artist Nashville was looking for. He was told time and again that his sound wasn't commercial enough, that he didn't fit the mold. Undeterred, Bobby continued to drift from town to town, surviving on stale bread and spare change, but always chasing the dream of being heard. As he slept in his battered car through freezing nights and drove aimlessly from one studio to another, the glimmer of success seemed as distant as ever. But Bobby's resilience would not let him give up, even as he grappled with his own doubts and growing frustration. Military service. A temporary escape. Bobby's response to the theft of his success was to enlist in the military. He left behind his guitar, Nashville, and the dream that had been snatched away from him. But the years in the military did not heal Bobby's wounds. They only provided a temporary escape from the pain of losing his career and his identity. As he served in the military, he still heard the all-American boy being played by his fellow soldiers, not knowing that the true artist behind the song was sitting right next to them. Bobby never corrected them, quietly bearing the weight of the injustice that had been done to him. When he finally returned to Nashville in the early 1960s, he was a changed man. While people recognized his voice, they still treated him as if he were disposable. The lessons Bobby learned during those years of struggle had left a permanent mark on his soul, and he now understood that success did not guarantee respect or protection in a world driven by profit. A new beginning. With RCA, the breakthrough. Bobby's return to Nashville was marked by rejection after rejection. He was told time and again that his music didn't fit into the commercial mold. But then, in 1962, a turning point came. Chet Atkins, a respected figure in the industry, recognized Bobby's unique storytelling ability. Unlike others, Atkins didn't see Bobby as a product to be sold, but as a true artist with something real to offer. With Atkins's support, Bobby signed with RCA, and his career began to take off in ways he had never expected. The release of his song, Shame on Me, received positive reactions, but it was Detroit City that became his breakout hit. The song, which told the story of a poor man working in a Detroit factory and dreaming of home, resonated deeply with audiences. It was a story that millions of Americans could relate to, and Bobby sang it with such authenticity that it became an anthem of sorts. Recognition and loneliness. Bobby's success with Detroit City marked the pinnacle of his career. The song won a Grammy in 1964, and Bobby finally received the recognition he deserved. But even in the midst of his success, Bobby found himself alone. On the night of the Grammy ceremony, he sat in his hotel room, holding the golden statue, but feeling a deep emptiness. The victory, which should have been a moment of celebration, was marred by the absence of loved ones with whom he could share the achievement. Despite the accolades, Bobby was still the same boy who had lost his mother in his childhood, and that sense of loss never fully left him. The public recognition, while gratifying, could not fill the void left by years of solitude and betrayal. The legacy of Bobby Bare. A life of unfinished triumphs. Bobby Bare's life was one of struggle, betrayal, and loneliness. Yet, through it all, he created some of the most powerful and emotional music the country genre has ever seen. His voice, though not technically perfect, was filled with truth, and that truth resonated with millions of people. As Bobby's career continued, he remained a storyteller, sharing the pain and the heartache of his own life through his music. Despite the challenges he faced, Bobby Bare's legacy endures as one of the greatest narrative voices in American country music. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the price of fame, a price that often comes with a heavy cost.